Hello, 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 Facebook. How's everybody doing out there? We are going to be getting started pretty soon here. Hopefully, you guys can see me. I'm Coach Art and going to be doing an amazing, wonderful presentation on college majors. So, hopefully, you can see me. If you can, please give comments. I always love reactions. Coach Tony, who's usually here, I know he likes to get comments, but I like to get reactions on my normal presentations. If you can see me, let me know as well. I'm excited to see how many people are joining today, and excited to really deliver a great topic on majors here. I'm going to give it about a minute or so, and then we will go ahead and get started. All right, I see my first thumbs up. Awesome. Love it, love it, love it. It's just incredible to me that right now we're getting in so many people and so many students that are chiming in from our programs and saying, "Oh, we made it to this school and my dream school," and it really warms our heart because all of the hard work that they put in has just benefited them making it into their top choices into their top schools. So hopefully we are, of course, live on Facebook, and then we're also live on Zoom for our families. And we're going to be getting started really, really quickly here. Um, but hopefully, people on Facebook, you're able to see me. What's up? Oh, there it is. There's Coach Tony. Love it, Coach Tony. He's on. And again, we're always trying to give the best information out there, especially because this is the time right now for our what we call our 2025ers or our juniors that are going to be becoming seniors. And this is the time to really learn about important information for them to just use that as part of their ability to make a choice, right, for schools or majors. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and then we'll get going on our presentation for today. So please let me know by giving me a thumbs up or comments to say that you can see my screen. You guys can give me a thumbs up. I love it. Everyone knows how much I love my reactions out there. Okay. Okay, so welcome, welcome, welcome. You are on with College Admission Secrets. I'm Coach Art. Okay, and we are going to be doing a really important topic tonight. It's called College Majors. How major is it? Okay, and what I mean by that is how much of an effect does choosing your major um, affect the college process, the college admissions process, and the decisions that are made about your application? I'm sure a lot of students right now, especially the juniors, or maybe they've been thinking about this for several years about, man, what do I want to do? What is my interest? So I'm going to go through all of them. Okay. So first things first, what are we going to cover in this session? We're going to cover what is the impact on choosing your majors on admissions. Okay, when you turn in your application, what does that look like? What does the schools evaluate when they look at the major that you selected? We're going to break down the various majors. Okay, and all of the ones that you think are mostly impacted versus somewhat impacted, really not impacted. We're going to talk about how to pick the right major. Okay, give you some suggestions and some advice on how to pick the right majors, and hopefully we have a lot of students. I'm sure we have a lot of parents online as well. And then lastly, how to prepare for your major. Okay. So that's really, really important as well. Um, so with that, hopefully you guys can hear me good. I love it. It's a Tuesday night. And we're here just having a lot of fun. So and I know that we have Coach Tony listening and helping us out here on Facebook as well. So, if it's your first time joining us, welcome to UC Admission Secrets. One of the things that we just take pride in, we have so many beautiful and wonderful families as part of our program, but we welcome you here tonight. I am Coach Art. I am one of the college admissions coaches. I also call myself a parent liaison, okay? And because I'm just so proud of my three boys. Sometimes they call me the student whisperer. I think it's because being a dad for so long, you get kind of to understand, and also a coach to a lot of kids, not only in college admissions but in sports or so. You kind of get an idea of how to listen to students and how to help them. I've been a technologist for 30 years in Fortune 500 companies. Have a BA degree as well, MBA degree, and project management certification. I've been over 20 years as a sports and life coach for students and young professionals. I have been in the college admission space for about 7 years. Started with my sons. I am again a dad of three amazing boys. My oldest graduated from Berkeley with a mechanical engineering degree. My middle son is pursuing a civil engineering degree in Chicago, as well as my youngest is he's a senior in high school and is going through the throes of college admissions. So, been through it 3 times, also helped hundreds of students get to their dream schools like, UC's, Stanford, Caltech, Virginia, Michigan, a bunch of schools. So, I'm excited to just give you some information, right, about majors tonight. Okay. Also, you guys know Coach Tony. He's the one that started it all with college admissions, and just I'm so incredibly blessed to join college admissions as well. But he's our fearless leader. If you don't know who Coach Tony is, he was the founder of College Admissions Secrets. He was accepted to UCLA and UCI both with full rides, but guess what? He chose to go to UC Berkeley. Okay. And graduated from Berkeley, was an admissions reader there, as well as a UCLA outreach director. He even founded his own high school, which is incredible. And he was a former high school liaison at Magoosh, which is one of our testing partners for SATs. And he was a TikTok college admission educational partner for so long and has helped all his students for the last 15 years. And of course, you probably, if you've joined us before, you know how dynamic and an incredible of an individual that Coach Tony is. So, with that said, our goal at UC Admission Secrets or College Admission Secrets really is to reveal all of the secrets of college admissions. And that can be from various areas, specifically the UCs, the Ivy Leagues, financial aid, SAT, even prepping for AP math. Okay. So we have it all in a sense of a fully comprehensive program. And we touch upon so many aspects of the college admissions process. Okay. As well as it's not, you can see that we have so many success stories from our kids. Recently, again, just within the last month, so many of our students, at least what we've heard so far, because there's still some, I think Berkeley and Santa Barbara are still out, but all and from UCLA, UCI, Santa Cruz, Merced, Riverside, Davis, San Diego, so many of our students have made it into these programs, and we're just so excited for them because when we first start with them, sometimes they're a little doubtful and saying, "Oh, can I really make it?" And then they just blossom throughout the process in our program. But we're just not just the UCs. We also touch upon so many other schools throughout the nation. Okay. Boston University, Northeastern, you see here Loyola Marymount, Rice, Emory College, okay, University of Virginia, okay, Caltech, okay, MIT, Harvard, Stanford, so many opportunities out there for our students that have made it in and are just so excited because they just didn't realize in the beginning that they could make it, and then they realized their dreams. Okay, and we're just I can't believe it's like being a dad. It's just like all the students here are like my kids, and just so proud of their achievements. And hopefully that you're joining us today. And if you're interested, let us know, because we would love to help your students and your children as well. So our vision really is to teach you for these sessions, to teach you what's working for our coaching students, give you free resources and freebies and goodies that will help you with the college admissions process, and really to help your child achieve. And we're inviting you to work with myself and Coach Tony and our team, really to to coach your child through the UC admissions success. Okay. So if you guys are ready, if you could please give me some comments if you're ready, or thumbs up and say, are you ready to talk about majors? Can you give me some feedback here? Give me a thumbs up, because I always love my reactions. Give me a thumbs up or awesome. There they are. Okay, love it. All the yellows, all the yellows. Okay, so here we go. So make sure you take some notes. Make sure you drop the questions in either Zoom or either on Facebook. Oh, thank you. I love it. I see it all. Everyone on Facebook is ready. They're ready. Okay, let's get going. So here's the thing. Can selecting a particular major affect your college acceptance? I want to ask, this is my first question. I'm going to ask you this. Can it have a major effect? Can you guys give me that in either the chat or on Facebook in the chat? Yes or no? I see a lot of yeses. I see a lot of yes. Woo, they're coming in. Yeses, yeses, yeses. Okay, yeses, yes. We are over, just to let you, we're over 100 people now on this session, which is incredible. I see a bunch of yeses on Facebook. Oh, yes. Okay, sometimes. Okay, I see sometimes in there. Okay. So can selecting a particular major affect your college acceptance? Okay, here is what I say. Yes, of course it does. Okay, now, some people said maybe, sometimes, yes, no. Absolutely. Okay, there is a yes and a no. Yes, absolutely, it can affect the admissions process, depending upon, that's what we're going to go through today. When I say no, is because really, again, it depends upon the situation, about the major that you're picking, and the school that you're picking as well. And so, but we're going to go by the fact that yes, absolutely, it does have an effect on college admissions. And how does it do that? So let's go through this. Now, I first want to kind of go over this and make sure that you guys understand, okay? Because sometimes there's a confusion between college versus major, okay? So, of course, we use college synonymous with universities. Oh, what college are you going to? Oh, I'm going to, University of California, Los Angeles, right? But within a university, there is particular college or organizational units or divisions within a larger university. For example, like the College of Engineering, the College of Arts and Sciences, okay? So some people get confused when you say, college versus major. Now, the major, of course, is the student's chosen field of study, okay? And it has a part in the degree requirement. So, for example, a major of biology or English, okay? So when you put those two together, you can say, within the College of Arts and Sciences, I'm majoring in sociology, okay? Within the college, I am pursuing this major. And specifically within the UCs, it's really important to understand that two of the UCs, which is UC Irvine and UC Santa Barbara, they admit students strictly by major, whereas the other UCs admit by college, okay? And then when you get into the college, you establish your majors, okay? So that's where it's important to know, when you're going and putting and submitting your applications, especially for the UCs, that you're choosing majors versus colleges, okay? Now, first of all, what do colleges consider? Okay, what do they consider with respect to when you turn in your major? First of all, okay, they are looking at the alignment of your strengths and interests. Okay, so admissions officers, they look for candidates who have strengths and interests that are aligned within the particular major that they're choosing. If your academic records, your extracurricular activities, your personal prompts and essays reflect a very clear and consistent interest in the field that you're applying to, then that's going to enhance your application, of course, right? So, for example, if a student is applying for an engineering program, it would really benefit if they're very strong in math and in science, and then their extracurricular activities, like let's say, they're doing something like with robotics or something, and they want to go into an engineering program. That is going to affect definitely that they're because they're aligned with their strengths and weaknesses. Another thing is the competitiveness of the major itself, okay? Because of course, you've probably heard this, highly impacted versus, not impacted. What that means is highly competitive versus not as competitive, right? Because some majors are more competitive than others due to the high demand and a limited space. So for example, majors like like computer science, engineering, and business, those are more often more applicants. There's more applicants than there are available spots. Okay. So selecting a highly competitive major can make admissions much more challenging. Okay. While choosing a less competitive major, it might increase your chances, of course, depending on the school, of making it into that school. Okay. Another thing is the school's specialization. So, if you are applying to a college that's known for a particular, let's say, program or field, or choice of major, it can either bolster or weaken your application. So, for example, let's say you are you're applying to a conservatory for music, while intending to major in music, and you can strengthen your application, of course, if you have a strong musical background, right? And so, but if you're applying for something different and you don't have a strong musical background and you're applying to a musical conservatory, then of course your chances are much less, right? Another thing, the admissions requirements. So some majors, they have specific admission requirements. For example, I'll touch upon art again. So some art, in let's say the visual arts, they require a portfolio. Okay, while other programs like science and engineering, they might require high math or science, curriculum and high, grades and scores with respect to those particular, courses. Okay. So another thing here is, the fit and authenticity. So regardless of even if whatever major you choose, colleges, they look truly for authenticity and a good fit between the applicant and the school itself from an academic and a social environment, right? So the way you choose your majors should really reflect your genuine interest and your long-term goals, okay? And not just what you might think with respect to your application. So that's the reason why sometimes when people are asking, well, should I choose a totally different major that, to try to make it in? But the thing is that at the end of the day, the school is going to also recognize that and say, hey, what's going on here? It looks like you've been doing all engineering things, but you're choosing history. Okay, so that's not in line in the sense of a fit or authenticity, and as well as undecided. So let's talk about the undecided major. Applying as undecided or undeclared is also a strategy. It definitely is, particularly if you are genuinely unsure about your major or the university. Okay. And let's say the major or the university is known for really a flexible curriculum. But the thing is, if you do undecided, the key thing is important is to show that you are academically curious and you're open to those exploring those different fields, as well as that you express that in your application and give reasonings why, okay, you're putting undeclared, but these are still your interests. Okay. So this is really what colleges consider when they first receive your application and then they look at your major. Here are some of the criteria that they're looking at. Okay. So here are our major categories, right? Okay, so there's some major categories that a bunch of majors fall under. You have, of course, medical and life sciences. You have engineering and technology. You have the visual and performing arts. You have business, okay? You have liberal arts, okay? And these are kind of general categories where all of the colleges all of the majors align under, okay? But with that said here, Let's do another question. A question here. Okay, a quiz. Who can guess the top 5 popular majors for 2023? So if you can go in the chat, as well as if you can go on Facebook and chat, if you guys can list out what are the, okay, I see here. Someone said computer science. Okay, what's another top 5 majors for 2023? What do you think? I see a lot of CS. Okay, I see a lot of CS. I see, okay, what are the top 5 popular majors? Engineering, okay. I see engineering, business, okay. Biology, okay. All right, okay. I see that. Psychology, nursing, okay. Okay. I see it. That's is great. This is awesome. Okay. So we're guessing the top 5 popular majors for 23. Now, I'll be a little bit, ooh, I like this. Someone listed out a really great list here. Um, See, this is great. Someone did CS, 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 CS. Okay, for the top 5. Absolutely. Okay, so let's take a look at our list. Amazing. Absolutely. You guys are right on with a lot of your guesses. So here we are. And these are these are the popular majors. Of course, engineering, okay? Health sciences, business, economics, and frankly, and I'll say I'll give kudos to the person who did CS, 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 anything that's related to computer data or information sciences. They're really even. You can't say it. And everybody loves computer science. Absolutely. Coach Tony is absolutely right. I can't tell you if computer science is not the highest, it's probably very close to number one. And then you got very close to that is engineering. Okay, if we were kind of put these in ranking order. Okay, so great job, everyone. Everyone pretty much knows that. That was a very easy question. Okay, but the thing is, here, and so I want to go ahead and go through this a little bit and give you a breakdown of college majors. Now, I know this is like, oh my gosh, Coach Art, there's so much on the screen right now, but forgive me a little bit, but I will answer some of your questions that you will see here. And this is probably going to be very useful for you. So based on the college major categories that you saw there, liberal arts slash social science, STEM, health, engineering and computer science, business, and visual and performance arts, there's a lot of different majors that typically across the board for in different colleges and different universities that they offer under this, okay? Now you can see here, and hopefully you can see this, it's not too small. The ones that are highlighted, that ones that I highlighted are the ones that are highly impacted, meaning the ones that we find and that have been absolutely said by a lot of schools that is the most competitive. Okay, so let's kind of go through this and I'll go from left to right. You can see in the liberal arts or social sciences, political science, highly sought out major. Only the reason why is because you think about a lot of students may be going for law, okay, or if they want to get into government after a while, they're going into political science. So that's high. That's a highly impacted major. Now, you can take a look at the ones in STEM and health, and everybody probably understands, and everyone said this as well. Biology, particularly human biology, chemistry. A big one is nursing, of course, an RN or a BSN. And another thing is applied mathematics, okay, as well, okay, applied mathematics. Now, you look at here on the engineering side, well, pretty much all the engineerings, and you got the big ones, there's biomedical engineering, electrical engineering, mechanical engineering, right? And so you see electrical, mechanical, computer science, biomedical, okay? I know chemical engineering is somewhat, but I'll go through that as well. And then you can see on the business side, anything that's business related, accounting, business in general. Now, I know it's kind of strange because you see data science analytics. That has just come into recent fact is that data science, before actually when I was in college, data science was actually not even formally called data science, but it was more of a curriculum and it was under the business school. But then now that really is turning into more of engineering and computer science as well. But still, for now, we'll put it under business. But data science is huge. Finance and banking. Another thing called information systems or management information systems. Okay, MIS. which more is toward the business side versus the computer science side. Okay. Now, of course, the visual and performance arts, not as highly impacted. Now, what I did was also here is I labeled, if you see the ones where it says I on it, okay, so sociology, okay, biochemistry, aerospace engineering, chemical engineering, game design, okay, all of these are ones that I would call as impacted, meaning not highly impacted, but fairly close to being impacted. So you see psychology, sociology, all of these are ones where it's still competitive, okay? Not as competitive as the ones that are highlighted, but fairly close, okay? And so whenever your students or people that are logging in are trying to apply and they see this, they have to recognize that those ones, those particular majors that they're going and applying to here, you can see are going to be either highly impacted or impacted. Now, there's another thing that I wanted to go through, which is this was always a big question. Well, Coach Art, is there a way that we can kind of get into a different major and then transfer in, right? And first of all, we don't discourage that. Absolutely, we don't discourage that. It's fair. The one thing is that especially when you're doing engineering or STEM, um, sometimes business, it's very difficult to go ahead and move into if you were in a different college and then you went into and tried to get into engineering, okay? Because a lot of the schools may not even allow you to do that because it's so highly impacted. They may say thank you if you leave it, if you leave engineering. So what I did was, is you can see here, the ones that have an A are like alternate. Okay, these are alternate majors that you go into. And if you want to go ahead and transfer into maybe a much more highly impacted major, you could because they're related within that particular college or that major. So for example, you see here like STEM, if you go into, let's say, applied mathematics, which is highly impacted as well, but you could go and go into mathematics and go. For example, kinesiology is another one. If you wanted to make it into nursing or some bio or human biology, you could go into kinesiology because it's very similar to the same college. And then possibly, of course, if you're doing well, you can transfer in to that more highly impacted major. Another thing here, you see material science or into industrial engineering or energy science, okay? Civil engineering is another one, possibly like astronomy or physics. Those are other specialty majors in which with those, you can go into that and start off with that and then transfer into, let's say, a mechanical or a biology or electrical engineering, right? Um, so these are ones where you can see, is this, hopefully everyone please give me a thumbs up because this, again, we can go ahead and we can post this up, but here's just a college major breakdown and you can see all the different majors within the categories of, and it gets a representative of a lot of the schools that are out there. Okay, thank you. I love the thumbs up. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Okay, so let's get going here. And absolutely, Coach Tony's like, anybody want this? If you do, give me a thumbs up. We will put it on. I will put it out there. Awesome. I love, oh my gosh, I just feel so great. Okay. So I'll put it out there as a separate sheet out there so that everyone can grab this because I think this is a really great resource for you when you're talking about with your your child about the potentials in the college majors. Okay, so the question is, how do I pick my major? Because if you think about it, top competitive school plus highly impacted major, it means it's a small pool of acceptances. And what I mean by that is that it's just a small possibility of getting accepted because it's just so highly competitive. So let's talk about that. So how do we go ahead and pick a major? Okay. So first of all, I call this develop your major profile. Okay. So what I mean by that is um, based on your interests, your career goals, and what will really ultimately make you happy is how you determine that major that will give you that opportunity to really pursue the career that you're looking for. Okay, so let's go through that. Let's let's kind of go through that. First of all, how do we go ahead and develop your major profile? First of all, you want to discover your strengths and your interests, okay? So, you know how people usually advise follow your passions, yes, a lot of people say it. And there was a study done by the Journal of Applied Psychology suggesting that, you know, the more that you're interested and curious about something, the more likely that you're going to take action towards it, right? And so there's a lot of things that some helpful questions. What are you passionate about? What subjects are you excelling in? Do you enjoy working with people or computers or something else, right? Do you have strong verbal and written communication skills? Do you love designing systems or solving problems? These are all different types of questions to kind of figure out what your natural talents and what your interests are, okay? And so what I would say is, you make a list of your favorite subjects and your hobbies, okay? Um, um, and don't just kind of think, just brainstorm, right? And try to figure out, okay, what is your interests? What is your strengths? Okay. I put up there a really amazing website. It's called learningstylequiz.com. Okay. This is an incredible resource because what it allows you to do is to answer a series of questions, and it determines based on the answers what kind of personality you are, what your strengths and weaknesses are, what is the accompanying like careers that you may be interested in, what kind of relationships would you kind of go into. So if you identify your strengths and interests, you could do that through this particular site. And so if you want that, we'll go ahead and post that up as well in the chat. Okay. And get that out to you. And I would highly, highly suggest for your child and your students to go ahead and take that. Now, another thing is once you do that, explore the majors that are related to your interests. Okay. So what I mean by that is list your interests. Okay. Starting is a starting point for starting to explore those majors. Are you interested in law, debate, government, right? So do you have a knack for reasoning? Or maybe you have multiple interests, like and you think maybe you're curious about the world and you want to learn about different cultures. So maybe the major is journalism or liberal arts. Maybe you are interested in helping others and learning about living things. Well, maybe you're a candidate for, let's say, nursing or animal care. Okay. If maybe you're ambitious and you love coming up with your own ideas, well, maybe you're a business person or economics. Okay. Maybe you love computers, and of course everyone knows that, or you're more mathematically or mechanically inclined. Well, you do some type of engineering or STEM major, right? Okay. So explore the majors that are related to your particular interests. Okay. Now, next thing is look at career options that are tied to your interested majors, because the key thing here is, and I say this to a lot of people, and this is true here. When you're researching your careers, there are factors you have to consider. What is the projected job growth with respect to that particular major, right? What is the salary potential? What are the skills that are required in that career? Maybe what are some degrees or certifications, or are you thinking maybe that you're going to need higher education or higher, certificates or so? So it's really important to kind of consider these things when you're looking at a major. I have another amazing site that I think you should check out. It's called careerexplorer.com. Okay. Careerexplorer.com. I took it myself, okay, just to kind of see, and it was absolutely right on in the things that I know of. And of course, I'm an old man, okay? And so what it came up with was so incredible because it was in line with absolutely things that I would love to do and love doing, okay? So look at careerexplorers.com because that really will give you, based on a series of questions, what you would be suited at with respect to a possible career. Now, research the curriculum offered by that particular institution. Okay. So that's really, really important. Okay. It's because a lot of these schools, okay, not all the colleges offer the same majors or the same caliber of education. Okay. So it's really important that you research the curriculum that's offered and are there related majors that are in line with your interests. Okay. research the competitiveness of that nature. So we already went through, and you got that cheat sheet that I showed you, okay, of what is highly impacted, what's, not as impacted, what is not. So research and find out. Even that particular school may have some more majors that are much more highly impacted because it's so specialized, right? Okay. Another thing, seek academic advice, okay, or professional advice. There are a lot of places where you can seek advice. Guess what? We're one of them. Okay, so if you want to go ahead and get some advice from us, absolutely, we would love to help your student pick out their college and their major. Okay, and if you want to go ahead and seek us out, please put in the chat. We want to say, in the chat, put in major, okay? MAJOR, okay? If you want a call, okay? So that we can go ahead and set up a call and set up an assessment on, and help your student possibly meet with us for a free 15-minute assessment, okay? We'd love to hear from you. As well as, okay, once you do that and you pick your major, make that final decision and embrace your chosen major, okay? So the one thing here is you've done all the heavy lifting. Embrace your major, commit to it, do the best academically. Remember that it's not the end of the world if you don't come up with the best fit, okay? Because again, you can always switch, right? You can always switch your major. Now, all right. So now let's go ahead, and here's a message. Okay, here's a message from our sponsor. Well, guess what? We, as part of College Admission Secrets, for those that are, let's say, juniors going into becoming seniors, we host what's called a College Application Intensive. Okay, and what the College Application Intensive? It's a 2-day intensive workshop where we help students go through their college application line by line. Okay, and so it's in a small group setting. All of our coaching team, we fly out. There's unlimited one-on-one coaching live on editing and revising. We also go through the UC apps, the common applications, the CCU apps, and it's a maximum of 5 supplements as well. There is pre-event homework, and those live hours are starting in April for support so that we can start working with our students. And then, of course, we go through the summer to go through a college application intensive. So with that said, you can see here's our main coaches. There's Coach Tony, Coach David, and myself helping students individually, okay? We have these dates and locations for 2024. You can see there's some amazing places here: Irvine, San Diego, Long Beach, Sacramento, San Jose, Ontario. And we're so excited this year because we also have some new sites. We're doing it at USC, we're doing it at UC Berkeley. So if you are interested, okay, please contact us and type in the chat weekend, okay? WEEKEND. Type in the word weekend, okay? If you are interested in joining us for a college application intensive session, I know that we can definitely help your student get on the right track with respect to the application. Okay, so now let's get back. We're back, yay, from the message from our sponsor. Okay, I love it. I see the weekends coming in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's talk about how to prepare, okay? How to prepare for your major, okay? How do we do that? So we talked about what are the top impacted majors, and we talked about how to pick your majors. Well, there's one thing is, now that you've picked your major, what are you going to do? Well, let's talk about that. So first of all, we all know there's the academics, there's the activities, and then there's the actual application. But with the academics, it's really, really important to align the courses that you're taking in high school with the most competitive schedule, right? We've always said rigor is important, okay? It's truly, truly important. So the rigor is important. It gives you an opportunity to learn how challenging courses will be when you get to college because you're doing it in high school. Now, I want to give an absolute disclaimer before I show you the next couple of slides. Because, first of all, and I want to make sure everybody hears this, we are not saying that the next couple of slides, okay, is the only or best way with respect to following and choosing high school classes to fit your major, okay? The examples that I'm showing are certain tracks that students can consider to prepare for the students and their, their potential majors. So, do you guys want to see these sample schedules? Please, if you do, give me a thumbs up. I want to see the thumbs up. Do you guys want to see these schedules? Okay. Oh my gosh. I've never seen so many. Okay. I think that everyone does because it looks like we have. Oh, I love it. I love it. Thank you so much. I love these. Okay. Well, here we go. So, first of all, we've split this up into main curriculum tracks. Okay. There's like CS/engineering track, STEM/business track, and then there's everything else. Okay. Because if I had to go through every single one, particular ones, we'd be here all night. Okay. But we're going to try to group these together. So, first of all, here is a general class schedule. Here's an example. Okay. Just an example of a class schedule. This is not a particular one of those tracks that I just talked about. You can see here 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th. And this is moderately rigor. Okay. So you can see in the 9th, you got geometry and you got the standard biology, foreign language, PE, right? In 10th grade, typically students will start taking algebra, right? Or maybe some trigonometry. They'll have English. They'll do some type of science like chemistry, some social science of world history, possibly dabble into an AP or a regular course. And then, of course, they're doing their foreign language because foreign language, you have to have at least 2 years of foreign language, right? And then in 11th grade, they're maybe doing some pre-calculus, maybe trigonometry, English, US history. Again, they're starting to dabble into APs. You have biology or some type of physical science, maybe chemistry, maybe physics, and then they're wrapping it up with their foreign language and an elective. And then, of course, their senior year, they may be going into formal calculus or maybe pre-calculus, depending upon their schedule. Of course, finishing off their English, some type of government, or maybe economics and AP, some more APs, and then electives, right? This is a standard class schedule. You're talking about maybe 4 or 5 advanced courses like an AP, and then maybe there's some honors sprinkled in there or so, right? A typical standard, okay, for a class schedule. Now, with respect to computer science, and let's say they've chosen either a computer science route or an engineering major, that's what they're thinking of, right? Well, what is important? First of all, colleges are looking for students with the markers of students who do well in their programs. Meaning, when I say markers, the indications, and I'll show you that in the next slide, okay, is students that are comfortable and fluent in the logical subject areas and have excellence in their STEM subjects, okay? So what I mean by that is, okay, is classes like advanced level of math. It is absolutely important to know. They have to go beyond the math that is offered at their school. So what I mean by that is that typically, if they were following, let's say, in a CS or engineering track, then they're doing calculus BC their junior year so that their senior year, they're taking an upper level math at community college. Okay. BC is not the ceiling, but it's actually the floor. The higher that you can go in math, and a lot of times in high school, the highest math that they offer is Calc BC. The higher you go by that, which is again community college, like multivariable calculus or linear algebra, or maybe numbers theory, the better. Okay, the more advanced levels of math you can, the better. As well as physical sciences, it's so important. AP chemistry, AP Physics 1 or C, or Physics 2, even higher than that, and maybe even AP Bio, okay? Especially if they're going to the biomed track, but again, or bioengineering. And in addition, to follow their engineering pathways, okay, rigor in other subject areas as well, like again, AP English, AP History, World History or so. So what does that look like? It's going to look like this. Their engineering track, for example, they're going to be doing Algebra 2 and Trig. They're having pre-calc their sophomore year. They're having BC their junior year, and then they're going and doing some advanced level of Calc 3 in community college. Along with that, they're taking, AP language and AP lit, okay, for their English. They're going through and doing AP foreign language, okay, some foreign language. They're doing AP US history, all right. And then they may do some like an AP computer science, which is again advanced, okay. Um, so you can see here is that with their computer science, with all of the APs, they're looking at 10 plus rigored classes that are both AP and maybe dual enrollment, okay? And the additional coursework is, at the college level with respect to math. They're doing engineering pathways as well, okay, at their school, okay? And they're doing additional pathways, let's say at a UC Scout or a BYU. Now, let's look at the STEM versus and business. Okay, what is important here? Colleges are looking again for the markers of students that are doing well in their programs. Students that are comfortable in logical subject areas. They have excellence in STEM subject areas, and they're also following their passions through their pathways. So what are we talking about here? It's almost the same as the CS and engineering route. Of course, advanced levels of math, especially if it's STEM. So it's the same thing as I mentioned. Their rigor can include AP Bio, AP Chemistry, AP Environmental Science, AP Econ, AP Government. Again, you were talking about these business points. AP Put or APUSH, which is U.S. History, World, Human Geography, okay? And in addition, depending upon what they're looking for, let's say in the sciences, maybe they're pursuing medical pathways or business pathways that have rigor in those subject areas. So what does that look like? It's fairly the same as the engineering route. But you start seeing here is that we are including now the biomed and the business pathways, okay? Something like, for example, if you're doing biomed, maybe you're taking a class in community college for like anatomy and physiology, okay? Maybe you're doing more of a finance class for business or maybe entrepreneurial class, okay? So these are things that are added, but at the same time, you still have the rigor. You still have 10 or more APs or dual enrollments there. You can see on your 12th grade, they're at BC Calc or maybe an AP Stats, AP Literature, AP Government, Bio, Foreign Language, okay? So you can see they're maximizing their APs. They're having 10 or more APs because that's how it makes how they are much more competitive. Now, what is important for everything else really depends upon and pushing their limits every year with respect to the rigor. So classes like, for example, art students, they have some dedication to the arts through AP curriculum. They're developing a portfolio, okay, which is required for some schools. So I know that I am over time here. Can you guys give me 5 minutes? Can people give me 5 minutes to wrap this up? If you can you give me a thumbs up? Because I know that I'm over. Okay, I see all the thumbs up. Thank you so much. I love it. I appreciate it. Hopefully, this is great information for you. Okay. And I appreciate it. So, one thing here, everything else, let's say this is an art student schedule. You see that they go kind of a standard route, but they're still increasing their APs. But now you have AP Environmental Science. Maybe you have an art and design course, a 3D art or AP History, maybe an AP Psych in there, okay? And all of these additional classes are within the arts history at community college. They can do community college classes on arts or history of arts and also cultural studies. Okay, so now here, major preparations and activities. Make sure they with respect to your activities, you research and you participate in major related activities like internships, research programs, personal projects. If you want to learn about those, we at CAS, College Admission Secrets, we just started some new programs, our research programs, okay? Our internships, we have a new internship program. One's AIpreneurial program, okay? We also help with personal projects, okay? So if you want to, again, book one of those, put in major because we can also look for and provide you with information about those particular activities and programs, okay? One great thing is the LinkedIn research. Interview professionals within your major. It's really, really important. Interview those professionals. Go into LinkedIn, or if you're not on LinkedIn, sign up for LinkedIn, and then go into and search for your particular major and look for those professionals and what organizations, okay, that they have that they or what majors they've used or they've gone through in school, and then interview those professionals, find out what they're at or what they do. Now, also join, or if you can't join because it's not there, create clubs related to your major. Okay. Another thing, visit the schools and talk to the students and professors within those related colleges. Read about new and innovative initiatives about those majors. Research the curriculums that relate to the majors, like we talked about, and develop relationships with the staff and build your network. Okay, build your network of people within that major. Either go looking through LinkedIn or you're talking to professors, students within that particular major, and start building that network. So when you need them, they will be there for you. Okay. So, um, who wants the sample academic course schedules? Who wants the sample academic course schedules? As I mentioned, I can put those out there. This is my freebie. I can put those out there. If you do, please type in schedules in the chat and we will get that freebie out to you. Just type in schedules for the schedules that I just showed you, those sample schedules for each of those majors. We'll get that freebie out to you. Okay. Love it. Please type in schedule. All right. Love it. Oh my gosh. Amazing. Okay. I'm going to end it with this. So we talk about, the majors, but I want to give a reality check for everybody here, okay? Because students, you're going to be picking your majors, you're going to be going to school, you're going to do amazing, you're doing incredible. But think about this, and this is truly a case. 80% of college students change their majors at least once. 80%. That is the average. 80% of college students change their majors at least once. Okay. Now, also considering the highest change in majors occur in fields of mathematics, which is 52% of those who choose mathematics first, they change their major, and in the natural sciences, okay, like say biology, chemistry, physics, 33% of change. Why? Because the new interests, um, initial major is challenging and they don't think they can make it, or other majors have better career prospects. Okay, so that's the reason why it's important. When I was talking about how do you choose your major, you have to really think about the things that you're going to do with that major. Okay. So with that said, thank you, thank you, thank you. I know I went through a lot of material. I know I'm a little late, but thank you for giving me the time. I so appreciate it. If you want to book a free 15-minute assessment with our college admission advisors, so we can go through the type of colleges and type of majors and the type of courses and so, and give you some suggestions on how to pursue your students' college education, please type in weekend, book to book an assessment call. Or if you want to book and look at our college admissions intensives, put in weekend. Okay. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and take some questions. But what I'm going to do here is we're going to cut out and go to our Zoom participants. I thank you so much for those that are part of our Facebook families. Please, if you are interested in participating, that's great. And I want to let everybody know about a very special call this coming Monday, the 25th. I'm going to be interviewing one of our students that made it into some incredible schools. One of them is UCLA, another is USC. And so if you want to join us, please type in Monday into the chat so that we can go ahead and invite you for that. Okay. type in Monday, so we can go ahead and send you a special link so that you guys can, watch that particular interview with that student. Okay, all right. So, with that said, thank you for being on. We greatly, greatly appreciate it. Those that are on Facebook, I'm going to go ahead and we're going to move it over to our Zoom call here, okay, real soon, so we can start answer your questions that you have on Zoom. But thank you so much. If you're interested, again, on our college admissions or college application intensive, type in weekend. If you want to book a call with us, type in book and type in Monday, okay, if you want to join us for that Monday call with the interview with our students. Thank you so much, Facebookers. I love you. You're doing great. Hopefully, we'll see you as part of one of our families, okay?